Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Good morning. Commissioner Luther F. Renee,
Present.
Vice Chair Carolyn P. Herman Purcell,
Present.
Chairman Marvin L. Pickering.
Present.
I have 3 present, sir.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The commission is comprised of 3 members. All members are present. Thereby, a quorum is established. Madam Clerk, can you read the rest of the agenda into the record, please?
Sure. Today we will be approving of the commission minutes from June 7th, 2023. Reports of officers, Secretary Treasurer's report, Vice Chair's report, Chairman's report, report from Division of Gaming Enforcement, new business, adoption of licensure resolution numbers 004-2023 and 005-2023 for the issuance of employees' licenses and gaming-related and non-gaming related entity licenses. Review of Responsible Gaming Education Month 2023 activities, programs from casino licensees. Invited testifiers, Ms. Susan Barnes, President, COO, DB Karina Bay Casino, Mr. Anton Capers, General Manager, DB Karina Bay Casino, Mr. Ted Schiefer, COO, Caravel Hotel and Casino, Ms. Rashida Russell, General Manager, Caravel Hotel and Casino.
Thank you very much. Before I acknowledge the other attendees, I would like to remind all in attendance to please silence your cell phones and put them on break or turn them off. I'd like to acknowledge the President of the Commission's Legal Counsel, Attorney David Carrington. Some of you in the industry may know that he served the Commission in another capacity. Now he's joined us as our legal counsel. I'd like to recognize also in attendance, we have Mr. Henry Shan, our Special Assistant for Licensing and Compliance, our Executive Assistant, serving today in the capacity of the Clerk, Mr. Richard Smith. Other employees in attendance, we have our IT Specialist, Mr. Odingo Bella, sitting in the corner, and we have Mr. Darren O'Reilly, our Archive Specialist. On the remotely, we have our court reporter. This is first for us, having a court reporter remotely. It's Suzette Escarpis. So I'd like to, when we speak in, that we speak clearly, so that she can have the proper prescription. Mrs. Escarpis, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, did I miss anyone else forth? Welcome, our guests from the industry. Ms. Barnes, Ms. Capers, Mr. People, Ms. Lotto, Ms. Campo. Ocampo. Welcome. Okay. Alrighty. So we move on to the item number 3 on the agenda, which is the approval of the commission minutes from our June 7th, 2023 meeting. Do I hear a motion?
Motion, Mr. Chair. I move that we accept the minutes of June 7, 2023.
I second the motion.
The motion to approve the minutes of June 7, 2023 has been moved and seconded. Hearing no objections, the motion is hereby adopted. Moving on to the next order of business on the agenda, which is item number 4. This is a new agenda item, and it will be a part of the commission's meetings going forward. The internet chat is, from time to time, go to the community and people are curious as to what the commission does. Some of these people include elected officials. So in discussion with my colleagues, we decided that one way to educate the public as to the activities of the commission is by providing summary reports between quarters as to the activities of the commission. And so we decided that we put these reports on the agenda going forward. So today we'd like to begin with the Secretary Treasurer's report, move on to the Vice Chair's report, and finally the Chairman's report. So, Commissioner Renee, you may proceed.
Good morning.
Morning.
It is my task to give you a glimpse of some of the daily varied activities that the commission is engaged in. We do so many things that people on the outside don't really understand what goes on. So my task is to simply give you just a small measure of what we do on a daily basis, of some of the things we do on a daily basis. I've chosen 2 topics just to highlight. Following the passage of Hurricane Hugo and Irma in 2017, the Casino Controls Commission building suffered some damages to the structure, the equipment, and the water damage to the parts of the interior. FEMA awarded a cost-sharing grant to the commission for repairs to the building and the contents, and to restore the facility to pre-disaster design, capacity, and function within the existing footprint. The money had to be expended by September 2021. A time extension was granted by FEMA, and a new deadline of September 2023 was established. Upon joining the commission in June of 2023, the chairman assigned me to continue to liaise between FEMA and the commission on those projects. Several disruptions caused by the pandemic resulted in tremendous delays and necessitated a further extension. So my first order of business was to seek another extension from FEMA. The time extension was required due to multiple unexpected delays, including, but not limited to, contract procurement, limited contractor availability. For instance, a contractor is still needed to restore 267 pages, 1,000 pages, sorry, of damaged documents caused by the hurricane. The commission is still unable to identify the qualified contractor to perform such a restoration. Such factors have hampered the commission's ability to complete the approved work within the time frame given us by FEMA. The commission also realized that we would not only need an extension of time, but we would need to seek an improvement in the project. So we had not only to ask for an extension, but to ask for an approved approval to have extension on more work done. The commission was able to submit long before the September 28th deadline a request for improved project and time extension to FEMA. FEMA has informed us that they have received the request and we now await their formal approval for the extension and improved project. While we were involved in negotiation discussions with FEMA, we also sent out a request for quotes to perform the tasks that were identified. For example, the installation of air vents in the fire storage room to improve airflow within the building and to conduct regular mold testing. To date, the Commission has identified a contractor and now await a copy of contractual documents from the vendor so we can continue. That's ongoing. The second aspect of what we did in that period between meetings, it is the Commission's undertaking that those of us who regulate the casino industry should have a full understanding and a working knowledge of the processes that are involved, so that the reports we frequently receive from casinos are more meaningful to us. To this end, Commissioner Purcell and myself, on August 23rd, 2023, spent hours at Caravel's Casino to witness what is familiarly known in the industry as a drop. I was fully fascinated, first by the magnitude of the tasks involved and the professionalism and the efficiency with which the casino employees carried out their duties. The precision and the seriousness with which the duties were performed made me accept the notion that the industry is in good hands. Not only was I impressed with the casino employees, but I was also equally impressed with the Commission's inspectors, those who were present to oversee the entire operation. The ease with which our inspectors were able to verify the accuracy of the process showed that they were fully trained, and I felt that they understood the work very completely. And they left me with a deepened faith in the reality of the reports, the reliability of the reports that are regularly submitted to the Commission. I do thank Mr. Shang, Mr. O'Reilly, Mr. Chairman, for allowing us to do that. And of course, I thank the Caravel staff for the enlightening experience. I am one step further in my understanding of the industry. Of course, we would like to do a similar activity when we visit the VICCC Hotel at some point. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Renee. Before I go to the report, I failed to acknowledge the presence of BGE Director David. My apologies. No problem. David. Good. Thank you. I like my colleagues to help me with that in case I forget. Yes, so welcome, sir. Moving on to the Vice Chair's report, Commissioner Purcell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to begin. My report is in the packet. I'm just going to summarize that report. I do want to add on to what Commissioner Renee said. I do want to say how on August 23rd, that experience where we witnessed the drop in count at Caravel, how enlightening it was. It will definitely aid me in some of the reports we get, the types of reports we receive to understand that. I do want to also specifically thank Mr. Shan, our Special Assistant for Licensing and Compliance, and Inspector Incarnation, who was the inspector, the Commission's inspector on that drop-in count today. I also want to take the time to thank the staff at the Caravel for their graciousness and patience in answering the many questions we had on seeing how this procedure, what all is involved in it. And I definitely look forward to a time where we can also come out to the DV and witness your drop in count. During this quarter, this third quarter, I attended a conference, the National Council on Problem Gambling in Washington, D.C. This was their 37th annual conference and their largest with over 600 attendees. And it just demonstrates the growing concern in the industry of how to combat problem gambling. I also attended our ethics training here at the commission, where the commissioners and staff were reminded of our code of ethics and our role, our very important role in ensuring the integrity of the Virgin Islands casino industry. That training was led by Mr. Abramson, and the chair will give you more information on that. But it goes to the commitment of this commission that we're all reminded. We all have an important role to play in patrons and the public to know that the industry is operating in an honest, transparent manner. During this quarter, we had several projects. We met with the VI Division of Behavioral Health and implemented a joint program with that agency where the commission will be providing financial assistance to train counselors here in St. Croix. I'm the St. Thomas Commissioner, to train counselors here in St. Croix and in the district of St. Thomas and St. John on problem gambling addiction. We know we can refer patrons to the 1-800 number and other hotlines, but the commission believes it important to have counselors here in each district. And we started that conversation with the Division of Department of Health. Their Commissioner Kanashun, has supported this initiative. Our staff and behavioral health is 100% behind us. Always understanding all their employees of their division want to take advantage of that certification program. It's just a matter for us to sit down and finalize everything, have the legal documents executed, and we can go from there. But I think this is a project that we can see will be soon implemented on island in both districts. We've also met with our media consultants. The commission is very interested in developing a long-term problem gambling, responsible gaming media campaign. Media campaign that will use traditional media, newspapers, TV, ads in the theaters, and social media. Having it on Facebook, Instagram, because we know we have different audiences we're targeting. We're targeting an older population, but also a younger, once they get to that age, I don't believe we can wait until they're 21 and can legally enter into the casino. But it's to train them now, to get that thinking what all is involved in it. And we know we have to do that through, well, they tell me Facebook is for the older person, but Instagram, Snapchat, those are the things we're looking at to get the messages out. And finally, we worked on Responsible Gaming Education Month, which was this ongoing this month. Our work with Ms. Smith, our executive assistant, we put together different ways on how the commission can have a presence in responsible gaming, the observation of Responsible Gaming Education Month. Both casinos, Caravel and DV, before you leave today, we will have a box for you that will contain our giveaways for you to distribute to your patrons and employees. The giveaways contain the message of the American Gaming Association: set a budget, keep it social, know the odds, play legally. The 4 tenets that they have identified as what can get people to understand the importance of responsible gaming. And we're already beginning to think thoughts of how we want to, what more we can do in 2024. But Mr. Chairman, that completes my report.
Thank you so much, Madam Vice Chair. Now on to the payment report. The commission is a member of the North American Gaming Regulatory Association. The annual conference was held during the week of June 11th through June 16, 2023 in Boise, Idaho. Commissioner Renee and Special Assistant Mr. Shang and I attended that conference. The 2024 conference is scheduled for June in Charleston, South Carolina. On July 27, 2023, the Commission appeared before the Budget Appropriations and Finance Committee of the 35th Legislature to provide testimony regarding the Commission's fiscal year 2024 budget request. The GVI, the central government, funds the salaries and fringe benefits for the commissioners and staff of the Commission. Other operating expenses of the Commission are funded from revenues received by the Casino Revenue Fund and the Casino Revolving Fund. I was accompanied at that budget hearing by Commissioner Renee and Executive Assistant Ms. Smith. And as Commissioner Herman Purcell indicated, she was unable to attend, but she was attending the NCPG conference during that time. The Commission requested a total amount of $1,477,300 for 15 positions, consisting of $1,021,200 for salaries and $456,100 in related fringe benefits. The OMB, Office of Management and Budget, submitted a request of $1,423,800, which is a difference of $53,500. Senator Donna Fred Gregory, who is the chair of the Budget Appropriation and Finance Committee, requested supplemental information from the Commission regarding that increase, and that supplementary information was submitted timely to her. Commissioner Herman Purcell mentioned the annual ethics training. I was unable to attend that because I was unfortunately I was ill, but I understand that it went very well. As she indicated, the training was provided by Mr. John Abramson of JJA Enterprise Consulting, and certificates were issued to all the participants. And just to buttress what Commissioner Herman Purcell said, ethics training is very important to this commission, and it's a commitment that we've made to conduct these trainings annually. Regards of staffing, the commission onboarded our IT support specialist, who I mentioned earlier, Mr. Bingo Davila, on July 17, 2023. He's a welcome addition to our staff, and hopefully with his knowledge and experience, we'll need to move into the 21st century with all the technological advances. On August 14, 2023, we also welcomed Attorney Kevin Carrington to the Commission. As I mentioned previously, he has served the Commission in a different capacity in the past. The Commission is currently recruiting for the position of Executive Director. Moving on to financial matters and other related activities. Through August of 2023, the Commission issued a total of 189 licenses in various categories as follows: casino employees, 93, casino key employees 55, gaming related 16, non-gaming related 25. The same period, the commission issued 239 work permits, 113 exemptions from licensure, and 66 waivers from registration and licensure. The financial report of the commission, this report is through May of 2023, not sufficiently timely for the commission, so the commission has taken steps to improve the submission, the preparation and submission of those financial report on a more timely basis. But through for the fiscal year through May, October 2022 through May 2023, total revenues, including the GVI contribution of $703,860 for payroll. The total revenues amounted to $1,030,009. Expenses total $998,128, resulting in net income of $31,881. The largest expenditure, of course, is for payroll, which consists of salaries in the amount of $489,233 and related fringe benefits in the amount of $214,626. The second largest category of revenue thus far is from the Casino Revenue Fund, which totals $238,817. The Commission's total budget for fiscal year 2023 is $2,126,700 in revenues and expenses. Through May 2023, 48.43% of the budgeted revenues have been realized, and 43.93% of the budget has been expended. The Commission received on September 19th, we received the investigative reports regarding the renewal of a casino and license application for VICCC and disqualifiers. Those reports are currently under review by the Commission for further processing and order. Speak a little bit to that, as much as we said in public regarding the renewal and the casino license for the adoptees for the track. I have expressed on many occasions that the Commission would move as expeditiously as humanly possible to process this, to review these applications and move the process forward. But we will not cut any corners and sacrifice our responsibility to get to that point. But we move as expeditiously as possible to get it accomplished. Turn to the casino industry. For the period June through August 2023, casino licensees, David Carina Bay and Paragon Hotel and Casino had gross casino revenues of $4,662,504. For the 2023 fiscal year, from October 2022 through August 2023, the total amount of gross casino revenue amounts to $17,171,734. You know, gross casino revenue is the total amount received by a casino less the amounts paid out for winnings. The gross casino revenue is taxed at a rate of 12%, which is paid into the Casino Revenue Fund. The Commission receives 25% of those taxes, with the remaining 75% paid to support certain other government agencies. For the quarter ending March 31st, 2023, both casinos reported a combined gross total payroll of $2,459,000 with a total headcount of 287 employees. For the quarter ending June 30th, 2023, there was a combined gross total payroll of $2,513,000 with a headcount of 277 employees. So for the first half of 2023, total payroll for the casino licensees amounted to $4.97 million with an average headcount of 282 employees. Worthy of note is the other spending for goods and services for both casino licensees through the second quarter of calendar year 2023. Spending for other goods and services such as food, liquor, advertising, insurance, legal and professional fees, etc., amounted to a combined amount of $7,475,000. This is a major part of the responsibility of the Casino Control Commission. We licensees provide timely reports to us, timely for the most part, to us, and we monitor very closely those activities. And we thank you all very, very much. Okay, so that ends the report of officers. So then we move on to the next order of business, the next item on the agenda, which would be item number 5. The report from the Division of Gaming Enforcement. Director David?
Thank you, sir.
So board, please. As you know, the Division of Gaming Enforcement is the enforcement and investigation arm of the commission. The DGE is a division of the Department of Justice, not directly under the commission, but their duties and responsibilities are exclusively for the benefit of the commission. Director David, you may proceed.
Thank you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
R. Oliver David, Director of the Division of Gaming Enforcement. As Chairman Pickering indicated, DGE is on the Department of Justice. However, all of what we do is for the benefit of the Casino Control Commission. Unfortunately, the staffing at the DGE has been a problem from inception. The DGE has been understaffed, and for some reason, regardless of the pleas that I have made, I could say, over the past 20 years, we have never gotten sufficient staff. I have basically solicited the assistance of chairman and former chairpersons of the commission to assist DGE in making it known to the legislature the importance of proper staffing for the DGE, which would benefit the operation of the commission. Both Chairman Peterson and former Chairman Richard, they made the request for the past 3 years since I'm back, and unfortunately nothing has happened. So the DGE struggles to do what it has to do, and that's we can only do what we can do with the limited staff. Having said that, I will say that currently the DGE has 2 staff members and myself, and everything that has to be done in the DGE is done by us. We have some assistance from the lady from the CSET program. That's a program that helps senior citizens through the Department of Human Services. So she helps with some administrative duties at the DGE. Other than that, the DGE jumps here, there, and everywhere to get everything done for the function. DGE, for the past 2 years, ending in March, April, DGE had 3 but still investigators. For some reason, the Department of Personnel decided to list all the employees at DGE as quote-unquote investigators, but they do everything that has to be done. One of them resigned in April, and I have 2 staff members. They are the technicians who work at the casinos when we get requests from Levy or Caravel. They are the ones that do the investigations. That has to be done whether we do due diligence investigation or investigate complaints for wrongdoing at the casino. And I, in addition to managing and supervising the work, I do the investigation of the gaming related and non-gaming related CSE applicants. Let me just give you a briefing of what DGE was able to accomplish within the past 5 months. The DGE received 36 requests for technical assistance combined from Caramel and the DB Current Casino. And request for technical assistance, the way let me just say, any machine that has to be on the floor at the casino has to be tested and approved by the DGE, submit the information to the commission for the commission to make a determination whether the machine should be played. So anytime the casino has to do anything with regard to the machine, whether talking about changing could be something simple as changing the pictures on the casino. If you want to change the computer chips on the machine, whatever, DG has to be present. And we get a call and we report to the casino, and we call back normal balance. We break the seal of the casino to allow the technicians at the casino to do what they have to do before we reseal the important component in the machine, so that it could be placed back on the floor. What happens is that when you get a call, we don't have a time limit, because sometimes you go there and it's something simple, go there half an hour, 1 hour, then it's done. Other times you have to stick around because while the casino's technicians are working on it, they might encounter some difficulties. So instead of going back and forth, if you go to drive to DB, you don't want to go back, drive back to the office, then have to go back to DB. Oh, we might stay. We try to get it done. So even though we have 36 requests, which is average about 2 per week, the amount of time that my technicians stay there varies. It could be a few hours, it could be all day. It depends. And DG has always given priority. I have always given priority to addressing issues for technical assistance. The reason being, without the machines, we don't get revenue. So when we get a request for technical assistance, my position is drop whatever you're doing, address that. Unfortunately, we do not have a dedicated person to do that. So the same person that's doing that, same person that will due diligence investigation for you. Having said that, we receive 36 requests for technical assistance. And sometimes both of my employees have to address a particular situation. So if you have both of them going, there's no one in shop doing the investigations. And there are 2 reasons why I have both of them. Sometimes it requires 2 of them to be there. The other reason why I have is to have both of them trained, so in case one is absent, the other one can't keep it. The DGE received 45 casino hotel employees, 34 casino employees application, that is 7 CKE, 10 CHKE, 2 casino service entity, and 1 casino service entity non-gaming related application. Once that is received by us, first thing that we do, we have to scan everything that we receive, make an electronic file, and also hard copy file. And those of you who are familiar, the mountain of pages that's involved in an application. So somebody that's scanning that takes a lot of time, but that's what we have to do so that we have some kind of organization in our office. So that within the past 5 months, these are the number of applications that we received, scanned, and applications for me. DG closed 65 due diligence investigation. And the reason why they closed, after we have scanned and we start the process of doing the investigation, we receive termination notices from the casino or the hotel, what have you, on a regular basis. And in the process of doing an investigation, someone is terminated, we have to discontinue. So all the work that we have done was slow. But we had to start it once we get the application. And unfortunately, sometimes we get a termination notice in about 2 months or less after someone has been hired. So you go through all of that stuff, preparing the investigation, then the person is terminated. So you discontinue what you have to do. Okay, however, VICCC was able to complete 14 due diligence investigations that were transmitted to the Casino Commission. We partially completed 3 investigations, due diligence investigation. We completed 4 complete investigations. And complete investigation is investigation that we have to conduct when there is a complaint by either the casino or a patron with regard to some violation of the statutes or the rules and regulations. So once we receive this, we conduct an investigation and make a determination as to what would be the next course. If we're going to file a complaint, an official complaint to the commission, or if it's not going to be dismissed, or actually dismissed, or if we're not going to take any further action. But first, before we get to that point, we have to have an investigation of the complaint. Based on the complaints that we investigated during that period, we were able to file 5 complaints with the commission against particular individuals who violated the rules and regulations. So the investigation was completed. It's a copy of the investigation. Then I make a determination if we should file a complaint against the violator. So we were able to file five of them. So one of the things that we undertook, and that's something that we went into for quite some time, was to dispose of all applications, all files that we had. We had some files going back to 20 years in time for reception. And we were able to share about over a couple hundred boxes of files. And I was able to consolidate the contents of 2 what do you call that? Storage units, able to consolidate what we have in one by shredding a lot of the old documents. And by doing so, we reduce the monthly payment for rental of storage units. So instead of paying for 2 units, we are not paying for 3. With regard to training, during that time, during the past 6 months, one of my staff members went to University of Las Vegas, Nevada for a 3-day training with regard to surveillance, with regard to casino surveillance. And the reason why I thought it was important is that if we get a complaint that something was afoot, staff member that does the complaint or do the report to review it. As part of the investigation is a review of the surveillance coverage. So that is something that is done, and I think it's important that the person knows exactly how it should be done, what should be looked for. And I extended information to both casinos, so if they could have sent someone of their surveillance party to that period. My staff indicated that it was very informative and something I find it was worthwhile. I'll be talking about training. I have in November, the 7th and 8th, both of my staff members will be going to JLI University. And that would be for what we call a slot training. Because with regard to the machines are very complex. And we have a role to play in terms of testing the machine to ensure that they are machines that we approve, so the computer checks that are there and what are the changes that has to be made so that the machines will be back on the floor. So I have 2 of my staff members will be going to Las Vegas, GLI, because GLI is the company, it's one of the 2 companies, I should say, because we have BMM, GLI are the 2 companies that test all the machines before it can be approved for use in the Single Virgin Islands. So they'll be the attendance training for them. I attended along with the chairman and commissioner and Mr. Shan attended the NAGRA annual conference in Boise, Idaho. I was a member of the planning committee of that conference, and I was one of the moderators of one of the sessions at that conference. That conference also, I made a proposal prior to the meeting for the Virgin Islands to be elected as a member of the southern region, and that was voted on. So what that means, we have 3 sections in the Virgin Islands, we have the lottery, the gaming enforcement, and the commission. They're all part of NAGRA, but we have one vote, and that is from the Casino Control Commission. So the commission vote with regard to issues that's important to gaming in the Virgin Islands, and I guess not nationally, and the commission. So look, by being a part of that region, the members of the Virgin Islands gaming body can be elected to officer positions in that national. So that was done. I'd like to say that we have a DE. We have been trying to deal with the backlog of license investigation, especially trying to deal with the CSE gaming related application. We were moving slowly, but we basically slowed down quite a bit. However, it is my goal to try to finish all of the gaming related applications, even if the report is not complete, but the investigation will happen. So in October, we're making a visit to 3 of the entities. I'm going to Jackpot Digital, Konami Gaming, Complete IGT. So it's going to be an intense trip, but I want to cover all of that because I still have 3 other entities that we have to do background investigation on. So it's my goal to try to finish this in December. I don't want to do them on their winter time, so I can get this finished. That will be done. But my hope is at the end of the year, as I indicated to Chairman in the letter I sent to him, all of the gaming related applications that we have in our possession at this point in time, the background investigation, due diligence investigation will have been completed. What that does, by pushing it like that, the investigation will be done by the reports. For some entities, you have 7 with the qualifiers, you have 5, 6 or more reports to write. And having to do everything, that's dealing, but I think it's important to deal with the investigation. And if there are any issues, then we'll address that. If there are no issues, then okay, we have done that, X, Y, and Z. Yeah, that's fine, but it's a matter of taking care of everything that has to be. For the most part, that is what we're able to do within the past 5 months. Still trying to get a replacement for the investigator that resigned in March, April. And at one point we had requested, I think, and we have been requesting 2 additional employees to bring the staff to life. And if that happens, we'll be able to assist the commission with what we are mandated to do. But without that, we're going to just do what we can, and it's not going to be as quickly as neither of us would like it. Okay. And I'd just like to say, Mr. Chair, you talked about training for in ethics training. Since we're part of the entire regulatory process of it, I would request that if it's possible that the staff of PG be invited to the next ethics training. So we all will be dealing with this ethics.
It is possible.
Thank you very much.
That's the end. We will really note that.
Okay, great.
Okay, and again, we hear your plea and we feel your pain regarding our staffing shortages. We know that we have been advocating on behalf of DGE to get some improvement there, and we will continue to do so.
Thank you very much.
We thank you very much for that report, and yes, we will make sure that DGE is improving and training, ethics training next year.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. King, for that report.
No problem.
Our next order of business, which is our new business, is item number 6, A and B. 6A is the adoption of the license service resolutions numbers 005, 004 to 023 and 005-2023 for the issuance of employee licenses and gaming related and non-gaming related entities and licenses. These resolutions were adopted in our executive meetings. Review 4/2023 was approved at our June 28, 2023 meeting. And 005 was approved at our August 7, 2023 meeting. So with that, I'm going to ask Madam Vice Chair, are you ready to make the motion? We'll be doing two separate motions.
So,
Okay.
yes.
Please, okay.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt, the commission adopt licensure resolution number 004-2023, dated June 28th, 2023, that provided for the licensure of various casino employees and casino services entities. I so move.
Do I have a second?
Mr. Chair, I second the motion, licensure resolution number 004-2023.
Thank you. Commissioner Renee, the motion to approve licensure resolution number 004-2023 has been moved and seconded. Hearing no objection, the motion is hereby adopted. Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve licensure resolution number 005-2023. It was adopted at our executive meeting on August 7th, 2023, wherein we provided for the licensure of various casino employees and casino servicing entities. I so move.
Mr. Chair, I second the motion to accept licensure resolution number 005-2023.
Thank you, Commissioner Renee. The motion to approve licensure resolution number 005-2023 has been moved and seconded. Hearing no objections, the motion is hereby adopted. Moving on to item number 6B of our agenda, which is a review of the Responsible Gaming Education Month for 2023 activities and programs from our casino licensees. Invited testifiers, Ms. Susan Barnes, President and COO of VICCC Bay Casino. I hope I have your title correct, okay? And Mr. Anton Capers, the General Manager of VICCC Bay Casino. Mr. Ted Schiefer, COO and Caravel Hotel and Casino, along with Ms. Ochie Russell, General Manager of Caravel Hotel and Casino. So I'm going to ask Dee, step forward, please. Before I let you see to the testifiers table. Before I ask you to present your testimony, I'd like to state for the record that the American Gaming Association, AGA, has designated the month of September as Responsible Gaming Education Month. And this year marks the 25th year in advocating and promoting responsible gaming. As you all know, the Commission is mandated to provide for gambling addiction and education programs. We came across an article from the Nevada Independent. This article was written on September 18th, 2023 by one Howard Stutz, that's S-T-U-T-Z. Headline said, once shunned by casino operators, responsible gaming campaign turns 25. There is a quote from a casino executive unnamed, which says it's good not to have people getting themselves into trouble, because when they're in trouble, they're not good customers. And just to read a couple of paragraphs, because it's a very lengthy article. But it said, at a time when problem gambling matters were rarely mentioned in gaming company boardrooms, Harrah's Entertainment decided the issue needed to be raised on casino floors. But it wasn't just the rival corporate executives that looked askance at the idea of employees learning how to spot signs that a customer might have a gambling problem. It quotes person by the name of Jan Jones Blackhurst. She said, our own lawyers tried to block it. And Ms. Blackhurst was then a Harrah's senior vice president. But with the support of the company's CEO, Phil Satter, she led Harrah's launch of the casino industry's first responsible gaming initiative in the mid-1990s. And she's further quoted as saying, maybe because I came out of politics, but you have a responsibility to your communities, your customers, and your employees. We believe it was the right thing to do. Now a member of Caesars Entertainment Board of Directors, Ms. Blackhurst continued, said the idea was to give casino employees the background to provide advice. Further quoted, the only thing you want to give employees is knowledge of what to do if a customer says something to them or if they see a customer in real distress. The company placed signage in its strip and regional casinos, providing toll-free 24-hour phone numbers for services that aided problem gamblers. A few years later, the American Gaming Association leaders decided the Washington, D.C. trade organization needed to take a proactive approach to the topic and dedicated a week in September to bring attention to the issue. It says 1 year, all casino employees nationwide were encouraged to wear orange wristbands to raise awareness of compulsive gambling. In the past 25 years, legal gambling has enormously expanded throughout the U.S., and the AGA has launched a responsible gaming campaign beyond its muted beginnings. As mentioned before, the Commission is very interested in how our licensees respond, to responsible gaming and problem gambling, and what steps they're taking to recognize it. Now, we've had our discussions here. Part of it that we've spoken about may seem a little counterintuitive to the casino operators, as I'm sure that you want people to game, but you want them to do so in a responsible manner. Because as this executive said, it's good not to have people getting themselves into trouble, because when they're in trouble, they're not good customers. With that, I'll let you proceed.
Good morning, Commissioners. Anton Kuipers, General Manager at Carina Bay Casino. Thank you very much for that introduction, and I'll say wholeheartedly, we agree with that.
I'm happy to hear that. You just pronounce your name Kuipers. Is it Kuipers or Capers?
Either way. I appreciate the opportunity to share with the Commission. We did in fact forward a full package of everything that has been going on. But I'd like to point out that this is not just something that we pay attention to in the month of September. This is something that is ongoing, as was part of that package. And I'd just like to hit on the highlights of parts of the package that we did submit. We kind of took a threefold approach this month. One was sending out a letter to all of our patrons, addressing those 4 tenets that the American Gaming Association had put out: the setting a budget and sticking to it, keeping it social, learning the game, and playing legally. There was a specific letter that was posted all around the casino and made available to all of our guests, specifically addressing that from me personally to the guests. That was one of the areas that we covered. The next was talking points for our managers and supervisors, where when they were meeting with their respective staff in each of the departments, we laid out a plan for the month with different talking points that they could address with the staff, so that not only were we educating the staff, but also giving them tools to help with the guests. Week 1, the theme was empowering customers to play responsibly. Discussion of the definition of problem gaming, really getting into it. As was indicated in some of the reports, Director David was actually mentioning it, but there is a fair amount of turnover in our staff. We have a good core of staff who have been there a long time and have been through this quite regularly, but we do also have a fair amount of turnover. So for some staff, this may be the first time that they've gone through this. So that's why we wanted to make sure that everybody's fully understanding what was going on there. The next week was regulated gaming protects players. And that's basically addressing how the importance of the Casino Control Commission, the Division of Gaming Enforcement, and going through and explaining how, although at times it may seem onerous, the regulation that is put on us, it is there for protection of us, and more importantly, the guests and our players, so that they know that they're getting a fair shake, and when they're putting their money up to gamble, that they're not being swindled or cheated or taken advantage of. Building a responsible gaming culture was the theme for the next week. Knowing where the information is for the players should they require help, what those numbers are, where to direct them. There is that 800 number. I'm very hopeful that the Commission can share some of the results of what's coming in under that 800 number. We had discussed that last year about how if we have tangible results that we can all actually take a look at, that could be very useful to all of us to actually know and understand if the efforts that are being made are having an impact. I don't know if that information is coming back to us as a territory. My understanding is that that 800 number is actually a Mississippi-based number, but maybe we can have more discussion on that and get some of that information. And then lastly, the document that we shared is something that we do on an ongoing basis, where as people, we broke it up into our employees, our crew members, our guests, and then the regular audits that are done. Every new employee during orientation is provided with our compulsive gaming policy and advised where the information is, that this is as soon as they're hired, in addition to what we're doing on a regular basis in this month of September. What's in the handbook, the company's position on compulsive gaming, self-exclusion. is a big part of what goes on, where we work collaboratively with the commission, where people step forward and say, I want to take a break, and we help them to take a break by ensuring that we're not letting them in. Sometimes that can be a little challenging. People can be persistent and just need to be reminded that they themselves asked to be self-excluded. Obviously, that national problem helpline that's available. In every bit of advertising that we put out, we address and publish that number so that it is basically everywhere. If anyone's looking for it, looking at any of our advertising, there's actually a phrase, gamble with your head, not over it, that is part of our marketing that goes on each of those things. And then we have an audit to make sure that all of these things that we've put in place are in fact actually happening.
You have an audit, you said? Okay.
Internal audits we run to make sure that we ourselves are doing what we've committed to do.
Okay. Is that something that you can share with the commission?
The responsible gaming audit? Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I think we've got no issue with that.
Yeah, that'll be helpful to us.
Sure.
You know, hopefully, down the line, as you mentioned, the information that's put out on your ads, advertising, etc. We would have another line that says you could get help here, right here in the Virgin Islands.
And we would happy to
And
be
yes,
happy to amend that advertising.
we are
and
committed to that.
include that.
Yeah.
That would be tremendous.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
As far as you
Yeah.
wanted to.
Thank you. Susan Barnes, the president of WICCC. Thank you for the opportunity to address this. This is a very important initiative to me personally as well, and it has been. I've been in gaming now over 30 years. It's been hard for me to believe that, but I'm proud of the initiatives that the team took here during Responsible Gaming Month. But I want you to also know that these are corporate initiatives that we have throughout all of our properties. Sometimes it takes some very difficult conversations with guests. And over the last 30 years, I've had to personally have some of them. And from the standpoint of getting up in the middle of the night because we had an individual who was in $1 million in cash. A very successful reporting artist internationally, and everybody was getting a bit uncomfortable because he was acting very strange and not like himself, and hadn't gone to his room for 2 days and stayed on the table. I got up in the middle of the night and came and pulled him in the office, and I had a good rapport and relationship with him, and I said, "You gotta go home now. I'm really worried. This is uncustomary." And he said, "Well, you stopped giving me," like he kept wanting to raise his credit limit. He had like a $250,000 credit limit. He wanted to go to 500, et cetera, et cetera. So he showed me the next time he just showed up with a satchel full of $1 million. But it was very uncomfortable to me that it was going on. So I came in out of the bed, had a conversation with him and said, "Go home, come back next week. Something's just not right." And I've had these with, much smaller level people, an elderly couple where the wife was doing things that the husband didn't know. And, it's very important to me. I think one of the comments that was made in the article you read, I couldn't agree more, that a problem gamer is not a good guest. I've seen a lot in my years in the industry. I broke in as a dealer when I was a paralegal. I did it for fun on weekends and nights in a small community where gaming was just initiated, and I saw people lose their construction businesses. So from that very, very start, seeing some difficult things, I knew when I did lead a company, we were going to be very conscientious about this. And it was long before some of these other initiatives globally came out. So just so you know, not only do I support what they've done here, we do things similarly throughout our company, and I appreciate the opportunity to tell you about it.
Let's up close and personal stories that you mentioned, but it's It's real.
It's real, it's not the theory. And regarding self-exclusions, for instance, in Mississippi, if someone self-excludes, the first time they breach, we give them a warning. The second time, they're formally trespassed, and we tell them we're gonna file charges on them if they come the third time. And if they come the third time, unfortunately, we will have them arrested, because I don't know how else to stop them from coming. But that's kind of just the position we've had to take, and it hurts my heart to do it, but it's for their own good and their family's good as well. Plus, we could be fined or something if we let a self-excluded person play, taking action. But we try to give them, 3 strikes and you're out before the arrest. So it's very important.
The commission recently revised its our voluntary self-exclusion program. We realized that people would come in, 1 week and have to be placed on the list. That's probably that's a lot of money that week, or whatever the case might have been, and then they would come right back in the next week and say, "Okay, I'm cured. Take me off." You know what I mean? And we realized that it's not supposed to work that way.
Right.
So we recently revised our forms and conditions, for when patron request to be placed on the list.
And we appreciate that change. We too believe that's the right way to do it. My understanding is that there's a time certain, no matter what happens, they will be excluded. It's 90 days, even if they change their mind.
6 months.
6 months.
6 months.
Minimum of 6 months, and the patron, the patron must then petition to be removed from the list. Notwithstanding, they may have come out and said, I just want to be excluded for 1 year. They have to come back to the commission and say, my 1 year has expired. If they don't come back to the commission, they remain on the list. So the onus is on them. So
Okay.
yes, that's what we done.
I wasn't aware of that part.
Yes, that's important.
I think that's a very
And that's highlighted. Patron must come back. We will not, the commission will not just automatically remove from the list. You must petition, which seems to me, it should be the patron saying, I'm not ready to be removed because I know what went on, not just the commission takes you off because, a year has passed. And that's all you want.
That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Before patron, which is the exclusion point. Do you keep any records of people your staff may intervene, where a staff member may talk to someone? Do you have any?
There's not a formal, no, there's no full report where there's a list of anything like that.
That could be also a question area, right? You have.
It's very private.
Yeah.
It really is, it takes a soft touch. And that's why sharing with the employees, basically where to push people to go to speak with a professional. And I think having that help locally is going to make a huge difference. And a call to an 800 number, you don't know who you're talking to.
Right.
It's helpful, it's something, but I think having something locally will really help that much more.
Right, and that's what the counselors at behavioral health have indicated to us, that persons want to engage with somebody maybe they recognize or who speaks their speak.
Yes.
Or understand, and we're hoping that's where we can do it. And then at that point, we will have the numbers and the information that we're currently not getting on the 800 number.
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other question?
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Thank you. Mr. Cheever, Mr. Welcome. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Ted Keeper. I am the COO of the Caravel Group. Today
Excuse me,
is-
I couldn't hear, excuse me.
Yeah.
Could you speak into the mic?
Yes, sorry. I'm going
Okay.
closer.
Yeah,
Good morning. My name is Ted Sheeper. I am the COO of the Caravel Group. With me today is Mr. Sheeta Russell, the General Manager of the Caravel Casino. She will be providing the testimony today.
Thank you.
Good morning, commissioners. Once again, Commissioner Russell, General Manager of the Caravel Hotel and Casino. First and foremost, it is always a pleasure to be given the opportunity to update you on our activities at the Caravel Casino. As much as we are a business of entertainment, we understand that a small percentage of people are susceptible to addiction. With that in mind, we feel it is a part of our responsibility to identify and educate these individuals. Although our gaming efforts are still ongoing, we would like to highlight some of our efforts during Responsible Gaming Education Month. Our marketing team has made responsible gaming talking points a top priority during our live drawings by highlighting the importance of betting responsibly and knowing your limits when gambling. We are continuously posting responsible gaming materials on all of our social media platforms and on our digital display board in the main casino. We have included the problem gambling helpline contact information for individuals who believe they or someone they know has a gambling problem on all of our posters and print media. During my live visit to a very popular radio station, I was able to discuss Responsible Gaming Education Month and the importance of gambling responsibly with the hosts and the listening audience. We continue to review responsible gaming facts with our staff with a strong emphasis on identifying potential problem gamers. We are about to close out the month and continue through the end of the year with responsible gaming trivia for both our staff and patrons for small prizes. Also, I have been approached by the owner of that very popular radio station to create a sort of a cash cab scenario utilizing our shuttle bus. We will be working on our line of questioning for this event, which will include some responsible gaming topics. Lastly, we continue to tag all of our ads, whether print, radio commercials, or in-person speaking, with our motto, bet with your head, not over it. Again, we would like to thank you for this opportunity. We appreciate the focus and resources the Commission has dedicated to this very important topic.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Mr. Sheeper, you have anything to add or?
Well, I would just like to include the fact that, the important thing here is we have to get this information in the hands of the employees and the managers. For us to say responsible gaming, that we have been on the floor every single day, every single minute. We have to give our employees the ability to identify and address, and I'll convey or agree with the approach that you have to get the right person to talk to that person. If you just have a stranger come and talk to somebody with a problem, it doesn't necessarily work out the way you want it. You find that person, and I've had this personal conversation with one of our employees to say, do you have a problem? Because if I went to Divvy, I would see that person there, right? So you really have to find that person who knows how to talk to that specific individual. People aren't very forthcoming of their problems, but there's an art to entertainment, right? We're in the entertainment business. If you're coming in and you're unhappy, that's not what we're looking for. We're looking to entertain people, not take their money. If you go to the movies, that costs you money, that's entertainment, right? And our business is you might walk out with more money than you came in with. However, there are those people that just can't handle that. And we need to be able to identify that, and our employees are the first line of defense in that. So that's our focus, is to get that information to our employees.
Great, and I'm happy to hear of those efforts. Our partners that you mentioned that they conduct audits. Do you do the same kind of thing? Do you have something similar that you do?
Currently, we don't have an audit of responsible gaming, but that is something that we can include in the future.
Okay. Great. Any questions, commissioners?
I just want to make a comment. that both casinos seem to like that model from New Jersey, a
Yes.
bit with your head not over.
Yes.
I think, Mr. Chair, you said you have received, when you go about, persons have commented to you about that,
Yes, absolutely.
but I'm saying both casinos, you said it.
Yeah, it apparently comes from the industry, correct?
Yeah.
You know, I was reading in, what's the gentleman name, he wrote the book, Cabot? Is it Cabot? He teaches at UNLV.
I think it's kind of.
Yeah, you know, and in that book I found where in New Jersey, that tagline was coined, you know, so yes. Yes, Council.
Yeah. Rules and regulations, section 434-12.2. B, require that exact language or some variation of it.
Sorry.
Does it, okay.
What is
Say the
that?
section again, Council.
Regulations 434-12.2. B.
And can I offer, I mean, in my 30 years, I always thought this kind of an awkward phrase.
Yeah.
And if there's a better way we can word it, I would certainly be
Well,
willing to accept it.
there's one that could be a little more crazy. The rules require either bet with your head, not over it, or if you sweat it, don't bet it.
Right, I think I prefer the first one. That's something that we can locally understand. I think is what we're looking for.
Yes. Thank you for both expertise for your efforts in responsible gaming education month, and not just a month, right, that you both indicated is ongoing, and which is what we believe it should be. Okay, so thank you. And I have a couple of questions. Recently, there was a cybersecurity attack at Caesars and then at MGM. It raised the question, you know, to us, you know, if because you know, we saw the effects of that, you know, what happened, just about everything was shut down. They had alternative programs or processes that they adopted. But we're curious, do you all have you know, such a cybersecurity protection at your hotels and casinos?
Well, let me say this, you know, working for a centralized decision-making company when I worked at National it was a password that you called a office and you said, you know, Joe Blow, changed my password, right? With no verifications, right? So, you know, it's not we're a local company, you know, if somebody needs a password change, it's not a situation where you're not going to know who that person is, right? So we're a much smaller company. I think that might be a little bit harder for the larger organizations. And, you know, if you read into exactly what happened there, it was just dumb. You know, they just did something that they really shouldn't have done. And, you know, they gave access to servers to a complete stranger by a phone call, right? No, we wouldn't allow that. That's not something that we do. And even the password change policy is all automated. You have to be at your desktop. You have to make those changes in place. So yeah, the simple answer is yes, but we don't really have the problems that say an MGM might have as far as a centralized IT in 500 locations that they're managing.
Don, can you take the mic back to that's my bit. Take it back to Ms. Barnes. I want to ask you the same question. Sure. She can sit over there. Oh, she was sitting too.
Thank you. The MGM and Caesars attacks certainly brought all of us a little more importance to checking out our situations. We do have several things in place, and even after that attack, made sure that some things that were on the planning stages or the timeline, like multi-factor passwords, for instance, as you log into your computer now for the very first time at your desktop or your laptop, you will receive a call or a text, depending on what device you're using, to make sure you are the right person that's getting into that computer. There's a lot of things we have in place, firewalls and various protection, but seeing someone like Caesars and MGM go through what they went through, you think, okay, gosh, we thought we were pretty good. They must employ people that are such experts. So we are going through right now, we've written down everything we have in place. We've sent off to an expert to review what might complement what we have in place, or maybe it's not the right thing. So last week, in fact, we put down all the information we have. Realized, for instance, at one of our properties in the Caribbean, not this property, they were running off of some old software that I said immediately get that updated. It was software that didn't have the security protection that all of the other properties had, and it just like flown below the radar because it's a tiny little property in Bonaire. So anyway, we are taking a closer look at it, even since those breaches, because none of us want to see ourselves sitting in their mess. I communicate a lot with the people from Caesars and MGM because they have properties in Biloxi, Mississippi as well. And their attorney from MGM just emailed yesterday and said, okay, email's back online, I'm back among them. And I didn't realize until yesterday, they weren't even emailing. So, gosh, it's been weeks. So it was very scary, yeah, but it certainly brought attention to all of us.
Yeah, and it did to us as well. And as a matter of fact, things today, is it today, Mr. Davila, that is cybersecurity training that you set up, that you registered for? It's today. What you want? It's today. Yeah. So we are very, very concerned, about that as well. So we want to stay on top of those types of issues. As a commission, as a regulator, and we want to make sure that our licensees, are in fact, not that we didn't think that you did, but just we thought we should ask a question.
Thank you.
Okay. And I have one more question for Carol. How is how's the bus?
We're getting there. We're still in our infancy stage. I remember we have to offer you guys a ride once we get everything up and running how we want it to be.
But you have ads on the radio.
We sure do. So
And it's not running?
it's running, but it's only running the latter portion of the week. So like 3 to 4 days a week until we get full staff.
Okay, but
I have secured my driver and I've secured your space for when we are running full for the week. And when we get the bus in a position where we want to bring you guys on, and of course, give you that first class service, right from Christiansted to Christiansted.
So the proposal is to have go from Fredericksted. Well, what's the route?
We're going from the casino down to the Fred, in Fredericksted area, along the Queen Mary Highway and back up. Once again, we have a shortened schedule because we're not full staff. It's kind of a bit of a task to get the applicants, what's the word I need to use? License to get their work permit, a lot of the young people today don't have everything that they need to complete that package, and they kind of scared, it kind of shies them away of completing it once they hear like we need to bring in your tax information. Well, I didn't file it. Okay, well, tell them you didn't file it. It's as simple as that. But once we get full staff, again, I have secured your driver. We tested him out, he's good, very good. He's a current employee. And we will be running our shuttle bus 7 days a week.
Are there any security concerns?
Not at this moment, no. As long as, not as long as, but the schedule we have is that the bus has to be able to safely pull off the road and either pick up or let off patrons and safely re-enter the road. I do not want them stopping in the middle of the traffic impeding traffic at any time. If there are any detours, like the one over there on the Queen Mary Highway by Superior Court, we would like you to expeditiously follow that route safely and get back on the Queen Mary Highway and continue your journey.
Any question?
Yeah, well, when you say that pull off the road and then I'm assuming you have designated
Yes,
spots.
we have
right?
designated bus stops.
So you have to clear that with public
Public
works.
Works, yeah.
So those have been, that has been cleared.
Yes, they gave us their permission. We would like to affix signage to those locations, but we are still waiting on someone to contact us because apparently you have to pay to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We stick a little 8.5 by 11. Tonight, you say, okay, well, this is the location,
But
you have to
then,
pay to do that.
okay, that was the question that came up that,
Yes.
but Public Works has said these areas are safe for you
Yes.
to do your
Yes.
on and off. And when you say 7 days a week, what are the hours of operation that you plan?
So once we get it working, it will be Sunday to Thursday, 1:30 PM to 11 PM. And Friday and Saturday, which are longer days in operation for the casino, we're going from 1:30 PM to midnight.
The midnight will be those will be the last drop off to their homes.
Correct, not their homes.
Well, yeah, well, to their places.
Let's start the homes, yeah. Yes,
Yeah, let me not start anything.
that's a whole different category.
Yeah, they'll let you drop it off at home.
And
That's what they want.
but that will be the,
Yeah,
that will be the part then along the Queen Mary Highway. That's
Yes.
it.
yes,
And you're gonna have signage on the bus about responsible gaming. and
Yes.
all that.
right. We do have a display unit on the bus that we are working on powering. We have our footage and everything, but we're having an issue with powering it up. So we have to get.
Oh, you mean an electronic one? Oh,
An
nice.
LCD.
Okay.
So is this service only for disabled and the aged?
This service is for all of our valued Rewards Club members. Yes. The bus is capable of, it's equipped with a wheelchair lift that we're also working on getting the power situation straightened out. We do have an aide on the bus to assist the elderly or whoever else may have issues stepping up on the bus to provide that service for them. I mean, we're trying to help them every way that we can.
Good. Okay, so, thank you once again, for your presentations. And, we certainly look forward to continuing our efforts in regards to, responsible gaming and problem having, along with, our partners, in this effort. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're gonna move on to item number 8, which is any other VICCC business. Under this category, we're gonna hear some pictures with you. The commissioners, at least the 3 of us here, I've done it before. Were never administered an oath of office. When we were confirmed by the legislature, we received a certificate of appointment, which was signed by the governor, and we came in and we went to work. A discussion with my colleagues felt that it was important that we formalize our appointments by having the oath of office administered to us. So yesterday, our former legal counsel and now the honorable judge of the Superior Court, Edith Ross Edwards, was kind enough to administer the oath of office to each of us, and to since we didn't do it at the time of appointment, we did it. And if I'm gonna try to make, is this Latin?
Yeah.
Non-proton?
Yeah, you did a good job.
Yesterday, so we want to share some of the pictures with you, so.
And may I add?
Yes.
And that was something that came up during the ethics training, that an oath of office is important for when you assume these types of positions.
We have a few members to share.
It was silent.
I'm trying to remember the oath. Chair, we have the oath, so we can, we know what we took the oath.
Yeah, I don't. Have it.
That's good first.
They caught all them smiling when they shake hands.
So there we are now officially official. And I want to make sure that I give proper credit to our photographer,
Yes.
our executive assistant, Ms. Alicia Smith. Thank you so much. With that, any other VICC business, Commissioner?
Not from me, sir.
Great, so there are no further items on the agenda for today's meeting here, and I want to thank all of you for participating today. Want to extend my thanks and appreciation to our staff, our commission staff, our court reporter, this card, for all the contributions here today. Our calendar shows that our next meeting would be during the week of November 13th to 17th, when we have decided on that date. We certainly will let you know and make that announcement. So if there are no further announcements, comments, the meeting of the Virgin Islands Casino Control, the third quarterly meeting of the Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission meeting of September 27th, 2023 is hereby adjourned.
Phoebe and Carabelle, don't forget to pick up your boxes.
Okay.
That's the one about.
Yeah.